Everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all well. This is where I talk about twin flame consciousness. So I'm doing this reading at 9:15 p.m. UK time on the 14th of September, and the new moon is exact at 2:42 a.m. on Friday, so in just a few hours, and that's in a Virgo Libra axis. It's exact, and at the moment we're in Virgo. So I'm just doing a reading now before the moon starts. Well, it started already, but we're not hit it exactly yet, and see what they have to say. So what I already know is that this is a Virgo. We're in Virgo right now. And Virgo, it's about healing in a physical sense. So you might be noticing physical sensations. So that could be any healing of physical ailments. It also could be a coming up of physical ailments. So things that you thought had gone away, coming back again, coming up. Because when things come up to be healed, you feel them again. So it could be that's coming up again. It could be also anything. This is about humanity. So your physical self is not just about your physical mainframe. It's also about your humanity. So it could be anything coming up in a physical sense. So it could be issues coming up to be healed. So being just awoken again. So experiencing things that are of your human life. Mental, physical, emotional, anything like that. Because it's Virgo, it's a clean-up energy, and it could be something that's coming up to be cleaned up. So just for example, for me today, and I'm a Virgo, I'm a double Virgo, I have had a clean-up coming in the sense of who I am, and I won't go into too much detail, but it did involve some standing in the back garden shouting out to whoever might hear about myself and preconceived ideas that people may have about me. So you might have had something that, it's like a kind of call to action. Basically, you might have had some kind of, as a feminine, a call to action to take care of your own healing. So it could come in the form of, like, maybe you just ordered some vitamins. Maybe you just changed your diet. Maybe you just threw out something that's no longer good for you. Maybe you took heed of your higher self and did something that has got nothing to do with any preconceived idea of what is, in the human understanding to be healed, and you just went against the grain completely and did something different today because you're guided to, because they said to you this will be healing, and it might have been something that on the surface looks like it wouldn't be healing at all. So because not everything that's human is comes along in the same way, basically. So things that come from thought consciousness, from other people's ideas, are not necessarily what it is to be healing. So for example, you might have just suddenly had clarity about fibre and discarded fibre from your diet, where all the information says must eat more fibre is healing, and suddenly you get the clarity, no it's not, I'm throwing it out, I'm never having it again. Something like that. So it could be going against the grain. That's just one example. That might not be for you. That's just something that I know, and that is an example of that higher. We are moving into a really high energy right now with this moon. It's this dark moon. So dark moons are where you let go. So generally what happens is the feminine goes down into the mental aspect, which is the masculine. They go down into the ego, the mental aspect, and they spend quite a lot of time there, and they dig out some kind of dirt and they chuck it out. So they get rid of something. So, but it feels like this moon, it's not so deep a dive into the dirt. So it's not like there's like a long dive into the mental aspect to like go and like find that, it's like diving for pearls. It's not like a really long dive. It's more of a just like quick in and out. Maybe because it's a Virgo moon, and Virgo is not, it's earthly, so it's not about water and it's not about air. And it's not about fire, it's just about what's on the surface, basically. So, in the earth, as opposed to what's down in the sea. So it feels like it's not that deep that we have to go. So you might go down for a little while. For example, you might go out of body for like, say, half an hour, as opposed to like 5 hours. So if it was like a really like wallowy kind of Pisces energy, this transition, you might go out of body for like quite some time. But this doesn't feel like this. It feels like it's just in and out again. In and like digging a small hole, basically, like a spade going in and shoveling out a little bit of dirt and chucking it out again. Very Virgo, digging a hole. So, so that's what it's about on this to start with. That Virgo unearthing, digging a hole, digging for gold, treasures in the soil, right? And then bringing something up. So we've got healing, bringing something up, i.e. vomiting, releasing, letting go of, bringing something up that is no longer good for you. And in terms of that, we're looking at a twin flame process. So it's not necessarily, it's not like what's not good for me? Okay, so eating this isn't good for me, or doing that isn't good for me. Those things are there, but if that's happening, that's really early on in the process. Later on in the process, it's about releasing things that are, it's like ways of being. It's like how you feel about yourself, how you judge yourself. It's about your momentum forward. So there's some release coming. You might have already just been through it, which is around where I am in my life and where I'm at. And like, okay, so here I am in my life, where I am. So you've got a point here. It's like, look at that. Do I like it or not? Like it or not is ego, right? So it's like you're coming towards it in ego. Do I like it or not? You arrive at it, you look at it, you let go of it. So when you release that point, you move away from it like, I don't care whether I like it or not, because I've just realised that's ego. So it's like you arrive at a point, which is where this moon transitions into the Libra, where you go in, you like moving into this like, it's a spectrum of delights in association with like everything that's fundamental about being human. I don't like my life. I don't like where I live. I don't like where I look like. I don't like the look of my house. I don't like where I've been, where I've come from. I don't like this lifetime. It's itchy, scratchy on everything that is being you right now, right? And then you reach a point, and there's a let go of all of that, because that's all ego. And then we move into the Libra moon. So that's where we're looking at right now, what's coming along next from all this like Virgo. It's like this is the Virgo cleaning house. So it's this circular activity. It's like those washers you get in like a car wash, and they just wash and they 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 round and round and round and round and round. So that's like that kind of where we're coming from in that Virgo essence of cleaning. And then it stops and it's like, hang on a minute. The energy is like, hang on a minute. Where are we going here? So the energy, not your human self, right? But the energy is going to say, where are we going with this? Do we want to be in this like round and around and around and around and around? Or do we want to like leave that all behind and we want to go somewhere else? Where are we going? So then we've got the Libra coming in. And the Libra of where we're going is so different. Libra and Virgo are so different in every single way. The only thing they both got going for them is purity. right? And we won't go into too much detail, but they're both looking for purity, but Virgo works for it, right? It's round and around and around and around and around and looking for it, cleaning for it, which is like a headache, and it's frustration, and it's like aggression, and it's build up. And then Libra looks for purity in a completely different way, which is just like, it's the headstrong, right? It's air. It's like, I know it's out there. I know it's out there. It's not searching in that meticulous, fundamental way. It's just like, show me where it is. Let's see the light. So we're going from the dark to the light. And the light is in Libra. And there's lots of things that are different about the signs, and lots of things at different occasions. But on this occasion, as we're going from a dark moon, and when they're coming into the light, and we're going from Virgo, and we're coming into the light, which corresponds to a lot of light coming, basically. Virgo is not a dark sign. Virgo is like, it's so almost going from like not a very dark situation to a lighter situation. Virgo is not like the depths of despair. Virgo is like, let me get there. Help me get there. Like, if I can work harder, can I get there? And there's a lot of frustration in that oftentimes, because Virgo's like, but I'm working really hard. Why aren't I getting there? What's going to change? What's going to happen? And Libra is just like, let's sit back and get there. Like, something's going to get me there. Libra is more like lounging around, like, something's going to get me there because I deserve it, because I'm Libra and I must be loved. And love must come to me because I'm love. Right, so it's very different than Virgo. It's like, work, let me work to get there. So the work of the Virgo, the dark, we're coming into the light of the Libra, which is, let me just lounge around, and it's got to surely get me there because I deserve it, because I'm Libra, because I'm love. So we're going from what is a short period of existential crisis of humanity, so a very short period, and you might have just gone through it or just be about to hit it, of I hate my life, what am I doing here, what's this all about, is this twin flame thing, nothing's ever happening, nothing ever changes, nothing's going on, I'm working, nothing's changing, that kind of like crisis, existential like humanity crisis, of like, what the point of me being here, because nothing ever changes, no matter how much I do. And then we're going to immediately switch, whatever it is this morning at 2:42, into the Libra, which is, it's also existential, but it's mind-based, it's dreamlike, it's like, oh, just because I can't see it doesn't mean it's there. It's just, Libra is much more like, it must be just ahead of me, because I can feel that it feels right to do nothing. And if it feels right to do nothing, it must mean something comes from nothing. It's a very mental kind of, that must be logically how things come, from a feeling of just feeling all right to a feeling of everything being all right, because I'm about love and about mentality and about doing nothing, because I'm Libra. And love must bring love, because that's the Libra essence, right? And it's like, it's so contradictory in form to like the masculinity of Libra. It's almost like the army stops. So Libra is masculine, but it's like the army just like comes to a standstill. It's like Joan of Arc or something like that. It's like fighting the cause, and then suddenly something appears and you're like, uh-oh, there's God. And the God says, I must stop fighting this battle, because there's no need to fight it anymore, because the answer is here, and the answer is love. So it's something like that that's coming along. So it's a great big stop. So you might feel it, and it might come about in response to this like Virgo kind of angst of like, got to get moving, got to get quicker, got to get faster, got to get cleaning up more. And then also with a like, don't want to clean up more, I hate cleaning up more, I hate the feeling of it, hate having to work, where's it going, what's going on? And then it's like, stop. and something beautiful arises from nowhere, basically. It's like they're saying it's like when everybody just stands still because a spaceship lands, and everyone looks up in awe, like, oh my God, like something's here, and we can't do anything, we just got to look at it. It's that kind of arrival that they're talking about in the Libra. They were saying about the Libra energy that's coming in. There isn't anything that is physical about it. So it's nothing physical arriving there's no looking down to the ground, basically. So if you had something arrive in your life that was different and profound and unexpected, but very fundamental and very mundane, you would have this energy of like looking down and getting on with something, like maybe letters that need writing, or forms that need signing, or dots that need T's that need crossing, and I's that need dotting, and all this kind of stuff. But this is a looking up energy. So it's like everything stops in the Libra energy that's coming in, and there's nothing to be done about it. So it's a pause. It's a great big pause in terms of action and effort, which is completely opposite to that Virgo energy, right? Because Virgo is all about running around in circles like a headless chicken, cleaning things that have already been cleaned. So there's none of that. There's just a stop and a looking up and a kind of oh wow, about the Libra energy that's coming on. So you might feel that you just stop and do nothing, I guess, and it's like, in its most blasé understanding of that energy. But it's a very powerful moon because it's coming on that axis of from doing to nothingness. So let's just have a look at the cards. Let's see what they say. They're saying it's like a whitewash. So everything is wiped clean with this moon. So everything is essentially finished and done with. Let's have a look. Show me a lot of laughter at what you look back on. So it might be that you know this work of Virgo where you're like sweeping up, cleaning up, getting on, rounding everything up, looking at your life, what needs to be done, what do I need to do next, what have I done, where do I go from here, and you're rounding it all up. But you might find that when you get it rounded up and you're expecting to find like a way forward, that you don't find any way forward. It's just like, oh, okay, I've been here before and I've rounded it all up again, and I'm still not finding a way forward, because there is no way forward, because the way forward is coming through the Libra moon. It's coming through the after effect of this. So your way forward is not what you think. It cannot be through that Virgo energy. It's not going to be more of more of more. It's not going to be more work or more endeavour or more stress or strife or finding or cleaning or working on something. It's going to come through the Libra, which is less of that, and love. So it feels like there's an outcome coming that is something that you don't even understand, something that you've not even, it might just be a complete release from that feeling of like, got to do more, got to find more, got to work more. It might just be that you enter into a state of, okay, not going to do more after all. Okay, so what's the answer to everything that I've just been asking the question about? Less is more. What's the answer to everything that I've just been telling myself I need to do, and I've got this on the list and that on the list? Is actually not doing any of them, and let's just wait and see. So it could be that you just get even more into that kind of, hands-off mechanism of higher self, and like, just leave it all alone. Just wait a little bit longer. Let's just wait and see what turns up from this new Libra energy. But I feel like this is quite an important juncture. So let's have a look. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles, which is physically linked. So it's what comes in the physical from the physical. So you could say what comes from the Virgo endeavour of this constant, like it's the workmanship, you know, and the trying to get things done. But Virgo is so, in terms of getting things done, Virgo really is cleaning. It's cleaning house. So Virgo isn't aspirational. Virgo is not ambitious. Virgo is not grasping or greedy. Virgo is literally just like, let me clean up my environment. So what can come from that Virgo energy, which is so frustrating actually for a twin flame, is because nothing much can come from that Virgo energy, because Virgo is not aspirational. It's not A-type. So it's like, if you look at it in a physical, fundamental way, what can come from cleaning the house? A clean house. It's not like an Aries effort, where from Aries you can get, like, you know, Aries is like, I want it all, and it can get it all. It's like, you know, higher power and, you know, building buildings and like owning lands and all this kind of stuff. Virgo is it's like farmer, basically. It's like being a farmer. So it's like on your own, in your own location, and just what you get from your own work in your own time. It's not like, you know, it's not like taking over Manhattan and building skyscrapers. So we got that fundamental energy of the Virgo, the physical energy, linking to something physically. So again, it's that kind of like, what comes from that? Well, more can come from more. So law of attraction is the more you focus on what you're doing, the more you get of it. So the plight of the Virgo, the more you focus on cleaning house, the more cleaning house you're going to get. However, you're in twin flame process, so that's not the case, because your physical endeavour is part of your energetic endeavour. So there's a level of frustration that has to build up inside the feminine, which is corresponding to a level of antagonism that builds up inside the masculine. So what builds up inside the masculine is a feeling of gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this now. And how that generates in the masculine is from the feminine going, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this now. But in a very like fundamental physical way. So the more the feminine cleans the house, whether you're male or female, is the fast and furious, like coming around to like the vibrational exit of the process of the twin flame connection, which is like bang splat out into a physical environment and what we call reunion. Right? And then we've got Two of Pentacles, so two people, so it's that connection, right? So that's why it's so important, the Virgo that we're in, and this physical frenzy of activity to get somewhere, whether you want it or not. It's going to feel like that, and to get something cleaned up and out of the way and done and dusted. And you might not even know why you're doing it. You might not want to be doing it. You might be thoroughly fed up that you are doing it. But it's an endeavour that is about two people coming together, and you can't see the end of it because it's a vibrational link, but you can only see that you're in it. But you can't see what's coming from it, right? So you just know that you are doing that, that's all. And then it's going to somehow, you will get thrown out, like the baby gets thrown out with the bathwater. And you're thrown out of that energy, right? Because it's been for a reason energetically that you can't see. Physical activity for an energetic reason that you can't see, because you can't see energy. You can only be in the physical activity that you're in. For two people. And then we've got 0 point and the Fool and brand new journey, and everything starts again. So then clearing. So you might go through a lot of frustration. This could also just have happened or be happening right now. A lot of frustration about where you're at in your life, a lot of not liking your life, a lot of being up in arms about your life, and then suddenly thrown out and you're out the other end and you're clear of it. And it's like, okay, I'm not going through that anymore. I just see that I know I'm not going through that anymore, but I don't see any result from it because we're not quite through the moon yet. So it's like maybe a pause and a disintegration of what's just been before something else comes along, right? So that's what we've just got going here. And then we've got King of Pentacles, which is the physical manifestation of the masculine energy. So basically feminine cleaning up the masculine energy. So all that activity in the Virgo, got to get this cleaned, got to get this done. I'm always doing this, I'm always cleaning the house, I'm always doing this thing, I'm always scrubbing this spot in the house, I'm always feeling like this house needs cleaning, I'm always doing the same thing every day. It's a mundane chores, it's like a circular feeling, and it's like, when is this going to stop? Where is this going? Why am I doing this? Why am I here? Energy, right? And then it leads to this standing still energy of the masculine. So then it's the masculine's turn to take the energy, right, and move with the energy. So as we transition from Virgo to Libra, it's the masculine that's going to start running with the energy. So the feminine is let go of, and you're no longer in process, and you're going to feel better, you're going to feel fine, you're going to feel calm, you're going to feel like, oh, I can go to bed now, have a really good night's sleep. You're not going to feel anymore like you want to smash things against the wall and scream and shout about your life, because you're not going to be up in arms against it, because you're not having to clean it completely all the time, or feel like you're always doing the same cleaning. And then masculine is going to take it and run with it, right? In a physical sense, we've got there. And this is the heart of the matter coming out, and completion in the world. So it's like energy complete. So this could be a pause before we move into the Libra, which is so different. That Libra energy that's coming is so different to the Virgo energy. And it's a quick change, and it's a mentality, they're saying. However, albeit that Libra is a mental energy, this is all about love. So it's a very high energy for the mental aspect. It's a very high energy for the masculine, which is moving beyond their normal paradigms of like operation. So the masculine normally works through the mental aspect. So they go with logic, they go with rationale, they go with like, what have I seen that I can be proved, that I know has worked before, and what have I already got the answer to, that I've got the answer to now, that I can know that this isn't going to go wrong. And they don't like to take risks because they're always judging things by outcomes that they've already had. So it's all that kind of mental, like, let me not go further than what I know already, because what I know to be proven is all I know, because of what I've done before. So I don't want to take risks. I don't want to go out of my my sphere of understanding. I don't want to feel pain. I don't want to feel anything that is opposed to what I'm feeling right now, which is just basically nothingness, basically, which is feeling just, well, I'm not alive, basically. So when twin flames going into separation, what happens is you go into separation from life itself. So it feels like you're disconnected from life. So the feminine feels like hard done by and can't move forward, and life is not, what am I here for? Why am I here? What's this all about? It doesn't make sense. My life isn't moving anywhere. There's no relationship. There's no significant other. There's no love. Like everything is against me. It's like, no matter how hard I try, nothing is changing, nothing is good. So it's that kind of frustration in the feminine, which is very Virgoan, that they basically go through in this separation. And the masculine in separation, the reason the feminine's going through all that and they can't move forward is because the masculine in separation won't move forward, and the masculine's answer to everything is, I can't, and I won't, and I mustn't, and I shouldn't, because I'm too scared of the answer. I'm too scared of finding out what it is that would answer the question of me changing my life, basically. So it's like you've got these two things, and the feminine feels blocked because they can't move forward, because they're kept at a level that the masculine's at, and the masculine won't move forward because they're in fear, right? So their mind is always like contemplating disaster and saying to them, you can't do that because this might happen, it's going to be terrible, it's going to be even worse than it is now. And so what we've got here with this Libra moon is, I feel some answer to that conundrum of the feminine not being able to move forward and the masculine not wanting or not able to move forward because they are held in place by their fear. Let's have a look. And then we've got Ten of Cups, which is a happy outcome and relationship. And I think we had that in the last cards as well for like this week as well. So it's like a happy outcome, basically. There's going to be some form of release coming. So I can't say at this point whether it's reunion for everyone in a physical sense. It feels like freedom, and it feels like feeling fine. So what can we say is the best outcome for everybody is feeling fine. So coming out with like a feeling of like, oh, it all makes sense now. I understand now, in accordance with my twin flame process, where I'm at and what it's all about. So now I feel fine. Arriving into higher self, arriving into a higher feeling of feeling good, arriving in a let go, arriving in a sense of like love and appreciation of everything that is, instead of like antagonism to everything that is. And there is opportunity in that feeling good for everything to move forward. So there's always opportunity in a feeling good for everything to move forward. In a state of resistance, there's no opportunity to move forward, because resistance will stop the moving forward in a physical way. So resistance stops the reunion, and a feeling good brings in the reunion. So is there an outcome of reunion? Yeah, possibly coming for some. There's definitely a way forward. There's an openness, there's like an open road, and there's like an outpouring of something or other. All I can say is an outpouring of something or other, because it feels different. It feels like it's not one thing for everybody. It feels like a different thing for everybody. So an outpouring of something that a feeling good, a good intention, a good understanding, a higher understanding, a more reconciliation inside of self to where one stands in the process. That as well, like, oh, I see where I'm at in my process. I understand it now. Now I feel a lot better than I did before the moon started, because before the moon started, I was all up in arms against my process. And I didn't want to be here, and I don't want to be doing this. But now I feel like everything is like, it's like a tsunami, and the wave builds and it crashes and it like releases and everything is fine again. And then we got here the physical feminine, Queen of Pentacles, and we've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is completion physically, and we've got the King of Wands, which is masculine energy. So we've got moving forward into the physical, Eight of Pentacles, completion, masculine energy. So we've got more of the masculine moving forward, more of the masculine coming into alignment with where they're meant to go. So, with this Libra energy, you've got ideas coming in their head of like how to move forward, what they need to do, what they need to say, where they need to be, who they need to be with, how they need to make recompense. They just use that word, recompense, which is going back and saying sorry. How to come to terms with their lives. So a lot of this Virgo work that we've got going on, this work energy in the physical format of the feminine, running around, cleaning up, is in the masculine inside of them, running around and cleaning up. Why do I feel so bad? What do I need to change? Where should my life be? What should my life be like? How do I change this life? What have I got to do? That kind of energy, and coming to terms with that. And their outcome, which is all here for both in the Ten of Cups, is how do I move forward into more happiness in the future? And have we got an outcome coming in terms of like relationship? And there's plenty of opportunity here for, in this outpouring of what feels better for the masculine, for them to make moves forward, dialing numbers, texting texts, writing emails. There's a lot of higher mental energy, which is akin to love. Highest mental energy you can get is source, which is love, which is Libra, because Libra is love and is mental energy. So there's a lot of like really, really high thought coming in terms of the masculine, like this kind of energy of, okay, I see what I've got to do and I know what I've got to do, but is it doing it now? Because the masculine, as we know, will take a step forward and then 2 steps back, because that's how they fundamentally work, because they go forward into feeling fine and then they will recede back into like, oh no, I can't do it right now. So I can't say definitely for everybody that they're going to move forward, but it's a step forward for sure. Manifestation in the Magician, everything moving forward. Let's get one more out on these. So we've got completion of fear. So it's movement out of fear. There, 7 of Swords in the world, completion, fear. A movement out of fear for the masculine. This is all mental as well, the Swords. And we've got the Magician underneath, which is manifestation and masculine energy again. And head over heart. So it's like a breakthrough moment for the masculine. And this is the junction of the moon as well, because it's from feminine to masculine. So they're coming into the masculine, but they're coming into the heart, they just said. So it's the head aligned with the heart for the masculine. So it's the two things, worlds collide, worlds, which is the head saying, you know, the masculine in the head is always, I can't do this. I can't possibly do that. I can't do, how can I do that? I can't do that. There's always a reason why not to do, why not to go towards love, right? But this is a meeting of the head and the heart. It's so colliding head on in the Virgo and the Libra, which is the workhorse, and the love, which is the two worlds collide, which is the masculine going to hell with it, why not, basically. It's like the two worlds collide, right? So the head and the heart coming together. So it's like the two works come together. So the work is about the heart making the head do what the heart wants it to do, instead of the head having control completely and saying, no, 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 I can't do that. It's the head going, okay, how do I make this happen? Because this is what the heart wants. It's quite a lower energy as well. It's like bringing in the Virgo and that mundane energy of the Virgo, the work and the physical and the work, and let's just make this happen, and let's dig ditches, and let's work on the farm, and let's make it grow, and let's make it worthwhile. Coming into the Libra, which is the dream of the love, which is it can never happen because love is beyond humanity. It's bringing them both together, right? So it's the aspiration of the feminine from an otherworldly perspective, bringing it into fulfillment in a fundamental physical way through the masculine, which is the otherworldly perspective of love in Libra, which is being brought down to earth by the feminine in that very fundamental way and being brought into action. So it's making it happen, basically, because we've got manifestation through the head and the heart. And then we've got that masculine here, which is energy here, mastery of energy. Let's go here, ending energetically, 10 of Wands, masculine energy, timing, Wheel of Fortune. So it doesn't feel like something that's a physical, it doesn't feel like something that's kind of physically derived. It doesn't feel like something that's physically, it's not in control through the physical aspect. It's not being brought into control through, I'm human and I think, therefore I am, or I'm human, therefore I feel, therefore I am. It's not being brought in through any of that. It's another worldly pursuit. It's like an energetic masculine energy. It's a vibrational energy ending, a vibrational it's a vibrational culmination of something that, yes, shows up in the physical, because vibration always shows up in the physical, right? It always arrives in physical form, because that's the point of us being here, and that's what happens from us being here. But this is not something that is like, it's basically not digging a ditch, right? It's not like digging something up and finding it, as in Virgo, because it moves from Virgo to Libra. So it's like digging, and the digging stops, and then something shows up from love, which is Libra, which has got nothing to do really, like in connection to the actual what was being dug up. So you might find yourself as a feminine, like out in the garden digging a ditch. And you're like, why am I here in the middle of the night digging a ditch? And then you go to bed and you're like, what was all that about? And you wake up in the morning and there's like something comes from love. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, it's not connected to anything I was going to find in the garden, but there it is. So, for example, actually, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm normally in bed by 8 p.m. So, and here I am at 10 p.m. at night on the night of a new moon, and I'm doing a reading, which is completely out of sync with where we're normally at, me and my doggo. So it's that kind of thing, right? It's like the physical endeavor has got nothing to do with the manifestation that's coming. It's like you don't know why you're doing it, but you're doing it anyway because you're guided to do it, and something's coming from it, but you can't see it because it's an energetic thing, and it's not got the correlation that you think it's got. Right, let's go here. The Fool, what you draw, Devil, which is what you draw, both ends of the stick, masculine and the feminine coming together, 0 point. And then we've got the physical, the feminine here, Queen of Pentacles, and something coming through. Again, we've got 2 of Wands, which is like a new road forward and going out, basically. So going out of the physical. It's going out of the physical. So you're bringing something through your physical, but it's like you are the apparatus for the manifestation. You are not. You are not the end point. So you know when you're going through this process and you're like, where am I in my life? What is going on in my life? I don't like the look of my life. I don't like the feel of my life. I don't like where I live. I don't like what I look like. I don't like how old I am. I don't like what I'm wearing. I don't like the people around me. I don't... Right, and it all goes on like that, and you don't like any of it, and you want it all to be different, right? So your physical apparatus, everything that's involved in your physical beingness that you have to come to terms with, you are made to come to terms with. Not in a like, oh, okay, I love them and I love them and I love this and I love... Just a like, you don't think about it anymore, you don't worry about it anymore, you don't stress about it anymore, just in acceptance of it, completely in acceptance, as in you're centered, you are thoroughly inside yourself and you don't think about it anymore, which is where something new comes from. So that's where we're at, and that's the only relation there is here, because it's a Virgo ends and the Libra comes, and Libra is all about love, and it's all about possibilities, and it's all about beauty. Libra is about beauty, and it's about potentials. It's about, oh, I love the look of that. Oh, I think I would love the feel of that, because remember, Libra is thinking, because it's air, so I think I would love the look of, I think I would love that, right? Libra thinks it would love it. So it's like, that's romance, right? I think I would love that. And until it stops loving it, it's still love, right? Which is why romance is an illusion, because at some point Libra goes, hang on a minute, I don't think I love this anymore. And that stops the illusion of the romance, right? So that's just general Libra energy. However, we're not talking about that happening here. What we're saying is we're moving into, I think I would love that. Because it's Libra, it's the start of Libra, right? So let's go. Rebirth, 2 people. Empress, 2 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, which is completion and abundance. And fruition, 7 of Pentacles. What's coming is completion physically. So this is everything. This is abundance. So what comes from the sudden switch from the Virgo endeavor to work to correct things, this constant moving in a circle to correct what's wrong, cleaning up, switching from that to the Libra energy of let go, and I think I would love what's coming along, right? Which is a completely different road ahead, which is just like, let's see what's on the horizon. Let's just go along with this. Let's see if we're going to love what's coming along. I think I'm going to love what's coming along. Which that energy of that feel-good energy of that leads to everything that comes along being really good. So that Libra energy, which is the end of summer energy, is a very fruitious energy. It's a harvest, right? It's like, I think I will love this. So you can't have more than that in terms of manifestation, because it's a two worlds collide world, right? Which is not to do with fear, because it's the mental energy of I think, and it's the emotional energy of I love coming together, which is here, head and heart, manifestation, and the magician, which is I think I will love this. So you get that, and you've got the manifestation basically. So, because it's all in opposition to fear, right? Fear, right? Because you're thinking it, and you're thinking you'll love it. So there's no fear at all. So in that comes abundance and the harvest. And we've got till the 21st or the 22nd, I think it's that, of September before we have the shift in the equinox in the northern hemisphere, and it becomes autumn, so the harvest. And actually the harvest is now, because everything dies off at the equinox, so it's literally now we're in the harvest. King of Pentacles, masculine, and the let go in the Six of Swords. So it's the let go and it's physical, right? So it's that Virgo energy of the physical and the doing and the doing and the doing that's bringing him to conclusion of the feeling and the thinking and the thinking and the letting go and the like flowing downstream in the, oh, I think it would feel good. Or you could say, it feels like it might be a good idea. Again, we've got feeling and we've got thinking. It feels like it might be a good idea, right? But it's all physical because it's coming through the Virgo and it's arriving into the Libra, which is the air and the love of the let's think it and feel it. And then we got here in the culmination in the Ten of Cups. What comes from that? Completion emotionally, and the same vibrationally. I know it's not a vibration, they just said that vibrationally. Well, I suppose it corresponds, right? In the ultimate feeling good is the ultimate vibrational outcome, and vice versa, basically. It's aligning the human element of feeling with the vibration and feeling good just in general, basically. It feels like it might be good. It might be good. It's thinking, might be thinking, might be thinking, could be thinking. You know, all those open-ended questions of what could it be is thinking, and then the feeling could feel good, feel good, feel good, and that's the outcome. And then we've got Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new beginning in the physical. So we're moving through the Virgo, which is the fundamental, to the Libra, which is the outflow of it, of all the work that we've been doing, and then we're coming through what's generated through the vibrational connection of the masculine and the feminine, which is the masculine is I hate it all and the feminine is I love it all, and the 0 point in between is it's all okay, whether bad or good, right? And then we got the road forward through that, through the feminine creating that, because he always creates that, number 3 in the Queen for the new road forward, but essentially masculine involved, and the let go in the masculine and the mastery of that, which is all of that the feminine has been through. It's the mastery of that in a physical format. So it's the mastery of existence. It's the mastery of being here. It's the mastery of being alive. It's the mastery of everything that is to be alive, right? So you don't always feel good to be here and be alive, but alive you are, so you might as well feel good because you're here. That's the end of the conundrum, right? And that's the let go. And then we're moving through, and we've got a brand new beginning on that in the physical, what comes from that. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that, and I hope that helps. And by the time you see this, it's probably all over anyway. But I can only do things when I feel like doing them and when I'm guided to. So lots of love, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.